Seems like today that everyone is getting excited about flying cars. But here's the real question. Is Joby Aviation actually getting closer to making money? Or are they just getting better at burning cash? Well, look, I spent hours digging through their latest filings, certification updates, and even their expansion plans. Not the headlines, the actual numbers. In this video, I'm going to break down three things. Well, one, what's quietly pushing Joby closer to commercialization, and of course, what could stall the entire story. And finally, why the stock keeps moving like a leveraged tech play instead of an aviation company. Because if certification slips, right, this runway gets very short, very fast. And if it doesn't, the upside could look very different. Toward the end of the video, I'm going to tie it all back to Joby Aviation and whether the risk is actually worth taking at today's price. Now, if you're new to the channel, hey, what's up? My name is Rick Orford. I'm a Wall Street Journal best-selling author, been trading since 1999, and no, I'm not a financial advisor. That is a good thing. I break down the numbers so retail investors like us can make smarter, more confident decisions with our money. I want to thank The Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. The Motley Fool is a company that provides investing insight and stock recommendations for investors of all skill sets and risk levels. And you all know how much I love researching new stocks and trying to find the next best investment. So I'm proud to partner with The Motley Fool to bring you 10 stock picks from their popular product, Stock Advisor. Stock Advisor has beaten the market by almost 6 times. Go to fool.com/RickO to get your 10 stock picks right now. All right, so let's start with what Joby Aviation actually does and why the market still cares today. Joby Aviation is an aerospace company. They're focused on developing eVTOLs. These are electric vertical takeoff and landing aircraft. They're designed for short-range passenger transportation. The company was founded in 2009, and today they're headquartered in Santa Cruz, California. Now, Joby's long-term vision is to build an air taxi network that offers faster urban and regional travel with lower noise and zero emissions. Joby's flagship aircraft is called the S4. This is a 5-seat eVTOL that's designed to travel up to 100 miles on a single charge and cruise at speeds around 200 miles an hour. So the idea here is to serve routes that are just too long for ground transportation, but inefficient for traditional helicopters. And what makes Joby different from many of its competitors is that it's got a vertically integrated model. So it designs and manufactures its aircraft, it develops key systems and components in-house, and plans to operate its own commercial air taxi service. On top of that, Joby is progressing through the FAA certification process, and they've got deals and partnerships with Toyota, Delta Airlines, and even the US Department of Defense. The long-term strategy is very clear, right? Regulatory approval first, scaled manufacturing next, and commercial operations in major metro markets after that. So with that foundation in mind, what's actually new with Joby Aviation? Well, recently, Joby announced plans to acquire a second manufacturing facility in the Dayton, Ohio area. So this will add more than 700,000 feet of production capacity. The facility is already ready for immediate use, and it supports Joby's plan to double aircraft output to 4 units a month by 2027. And this expansion strengthens its dual-site manufacturing strategy across Ohio and California. Now, more importantly, the move signals a bit of a shift. Joby is moving away from pure development mode toward scaled aircraft production ahead of its commercial launch. And that transition already shows up clear as day in its financials. In the third quarter, Joby reported a sharp revenue jump. Revenue increased 805% year over year to about $23 million. Now that sounds impressive at first, but context matters. This revenue is still minimal relative to expenses and isn't tied to any meaningful commercial operations yet. At the same time, costs continued to rise. Operating expenses increased 30% to $204 million, and that increase was driven mainly by certification work, aircraft production, and costs that were related to the Blade acquisition and operations. As a result, net loss widened significantly. Joby reported a net loss of just over $400 million, or 48 cents a share. It was actually far worse than what analysts were expecting. Now, on the balance sheet side of things, Joby does have some strong near-term liquidity. Current ratio is 13.6. That means the company has about $13.60 in short-term assets for every dollar of short-term liabilities. But liquidity alone doesn't create returns. I mean, the real question that investors are asking themselves is what actually moves Joby forward and what could derail the entire story? This comes up often in my Discord. So let's break down the key catalysts and the risks. And to me, one of the big catalysts came in August when Joby completed the acquisition of Blade Air Mobility's passenger business. Why? Because it instantly gave Joby access to an existing customer base, established routes, and high-value locations like New York. So instead of starting from zero, Joby can now plug in its aircraft into an existing functioning network and pursue its recurring service revenue. Now, operational credibility also improved last year. Joby became the first piloted air taxi of its kind to complete flights between two airports. And this demonstrated compatibility with real-world airspace and airport operations. So it's not a concept anymore, right? Joby has shown the regulators and the partners that its aircraft can already integrate into today's aviation system. Early positioning, it matters in emerging industries, and advanced air mobility is no exception. The company that reaches certification first is going to be the one that locks in routes, the partners, and customer awareness before the field becomes crowded. Now, on that front, Joby is further along in the FAA certification process than most of its peers, and that gives them a potential timing advantage, right? Demand is also meaningful. The FAA has projected the advanced air mobility market could reach $30 billion by 2030. That's just 4 years from now. I mean, it's already identified dense, high-traffic regions like Chicago, New York, LA, and even the Bay Area as initial launch markets. So if Joby can clear certification and execute, I see it as being well-positioned to be an early beneficiary of that demand. But the flip side here is also where the biggest risk sits today. If the FAA certification slips, well, the math pretty simple. Joby keeps spending heavily on engineering, testing, compliance, staffing, facilities, and manufacturing readiness without generating any meaningful commercial revenue. And losses would likely increase or continue at the same pace while the clock on its cash runway keeps ticking along. And that raises the likelihood of additional capital raises, most likely through equity. And that means dilution to existing shareholders. So Joby has no meaningful revenue stream yet, no debt financing, and a cost structure that still demands heavy spending, right? In its most recent filing, Joby reported about $978 million in cash and short-term investments. Net cash used in operating activities suggests that it's burning about $40 million a month. If spending stays flat and revenue doesn't materially change, well, Joby's got about 24, 25 months of runway at their current burn rate. That timeline matters. Okay, so now let's talk about what the market is doing with all this information. Joby stock currently trades around $13 a share, giving it a market cap of about $12 billion. The stock has a 60-month beta of 2.56. That means that it moves more than 2.5 times the S&P 500 in either direction. And that tells me that the market is pricing Joby at almost entirely on future execution, not on today's fundamentals. A market cap in this range assumes successful certification, scaled production, and a real commercial air taxi network that's already working. This high beta reinforces the fact that this is a sentiment-driven stock, right? Prices can move fast on certification updates, positive news, or Well, you guessed it, setbacks. So investors are definitely betting on a big outcome here while accepting high volatility and execution risk rather than currently steady, predictable returns. Performance-wise, Joby stock is up about 51% over the last year. Zooming out further, the stock is up roughly 182% over the last 3 years. And this price action shows that Joby trades on changing expectations, not execution. At least not yet, right? Recent gains do reflect renewed confidence in the certification progress, and past periods of weakness likely reflect just delays, dilution, or even just a reset in optimism. So where does that leave investors today? I mean, is Joby Aviation a buy at current levels? Well, looking at the analyst coverage, the consensus among 11 analysts, well, it's a hold, and that rating has remained unchanged over the last 3 months. The average score is 2.55 out of 5 and has actually slipped slightly from 2.7 just a couple months ago. The consensus does include a high target price of $22 a share, and that suggests there's as much as 65% potential upside this year. Now, I largely agree with that assessment. I mean, Joby could deliver some strong returns if it achieves certification in 2026 and begins commercial operations. But at current levels, it's still a speculative bet rather than a core position, at least for me. I see it as being a stock for investors who are comfortable with high execution risk. They have long timelines and they can stomach volatility. And even then, position sizing is going to matter because it's a very high risk, high reward stock, right? But now I'm going to turn it over to you. Would you consider owning Joby at these levels? Do you already own them? Or are you waiting for a better entry point? Let me know in the comments below. And while you're there, don't forget to like and subscribe because it helps others find the video, it supports the channel, and it makes sure that you don't miss out on my next deep dive. Well, that's it for me today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.